Good morning. I'm Charles Osgood, and this is Sunday Morning. To be framed is an honor when some of the leading experts in the craft are involved. It's an honor the father of our country experienced many times, and is about to once again. Molly Safer of 60 Minutes presents The Portrait of a Frame.
The frame was once celebrated as much for its beauty as the work of art it surrounded. But in modern times, the frame all but disappeared, minimalized, or worse, tossed in the dumpster. Today, frames are once again works of art, selling for hundreds of thousands, often valued more than the art itself. But for sheer magnitude, few can match the frame for Washington crossing the Delaware, a monumental work of art painted by Emanuel Leutze in 1851 and acquired by the Metropolitan Museum of Art in 1897. It's not only getting a facelift, but a dazzling new frame, measuring more than 12 by 21 feet. It is the most complex restoration and reframing project in the museum's history.
Have you seen his signature?
Carrie Barrett, curator of American art, is overseeing work on the painting and the frame, both of which will be unveiled at the opening of the Paintings and Sculpture Galleries in the new American Wing in 2011. It is a quintessential moment of the revolution, isn't it?
It really is. Washington took a ragtag bunch of Virginia militiamen and somehow cheered them into doing something absolutely extraordinary.
Painted in Germany, Leutze brought it to New York, where it created a sensation. More than 50,000 people paid to see it, flaws and all. Just take me through some of the inaccuracies.
Oh, everyone loves it. It's our favorite game. Well, the boats are wrong. The horses did not come across with the men, neither did the armaments.
And the biggest
to make sure
anachronism is the flag.
The flag is wrong. People will say the ice is wrong. The ice in this is the Delaware River, not Antarctica.
And as Carrie Barrett recently discovered, the frame was wrong.
It's a beautiful frame. It's just not what Leutze had intended.
What Leutze intended was this, captured in a photograph by Matthew Brady in 1864. The original frame missing now for more than a century.
And it was bigger because it had a great big frame on it back then.
A much wider frame.
A much wider frame with an eagle on top and trophies of war, so that the actual spectacle of this picture would have been immense and glorious, absolutely glorious.
And who better to recreate the frame and the spectacle than Eli Wilner, a New York City frame dealer, restorer, and collector. Is this the most challenging job you guys have had?
I think this is by far the most challenging project we've ever done. And also, this is probably the most ornate and most complex frame in American frame-making.
Eli Wilner started his company 25 years ago, literally out of a dumpster.
I was getting frames for nothing, or buying them in a Catskill antique stores for $20 and $50. And first year out, this is 1983, I did $200,000, which was a lot of money. I was 27 years old, and I couldn't believe the riches that I was creating in my little business.
The frame takes up virtually the entire workshop, 400 square feet and weighing 3,000 pounds. Total cost, more than $500,000. When you were asked to duplicate an 1850 frame, did you go back to 1850 methods? Or is there any other way of doing it?
I think the same techniques that were used in the 1850s are being used today. The challenge here was working from photographs as opposed to working from an original frame.
Well, most original frames you can carry.
Correct. That was another aspect. We had to make sure we had enough space to create this frame.
And this, of course, is the crowning glory of the painting and the frame.
Yes.
That's right,
Yes.
the great eagle.
This must have been a real test of your skills here.
I think that Felix Tehran, who is our master carver, maybe the only one in America that could do this project. What he's brilliant at is he's able to convey the liquidity of fabric. These cannonball look real. The bayonets look real.
It is carved by hand entirely out of wood. the way it's been done for centuries. Once a wooden frame is complete, layers of gesso, plaster, are applied and sanded down, followed by coats of clay for a completely smooth surface. It's then gilded, polished, and ready for a final fitting. At Eli Wilner's shop, work on the monster frame is finished. And while the American wing is under renovation at the Met, the painting now rests in a makeshift restoration room. With the Met's own restoration staff engaged in other works, the museum hired two trusted experts to take on the job of bringing the painting back to life, Lance Mayer and Gay Myers. Is there a particular, approach or feeling when you're working on a painting as iconic as this one is?
You know, we were actually standing here working on this picture on the day of the inauguration, and when President Obama mentioned the crossing of the Delaware, it was a really moving thing. I mean, I got shivers to think about it.
At a moment when the outcome of our revolution was most in doubt, the father of our nation ordered these words be read to the people. Let it be told to the future world that in the depth of winter, when nothing but hope and virtue could survive, that the city and the country, alarmed at one common danger, came forth to meet it.
Words that frame an image of America's defining moment.